Hello, I'm feeling very festive today. Hope you are too. We're just days away from Christmas, so please join me in this fun celebration. We've got books galore to celebrate. The latest one is by Neela Johansson and several co-authors called The Stories of Us. So for the next 3 days, we're going to go through some amazing series called The Author Chats, all leading up to our Zoom book launch. And so you're all invited. And this is a sneak peek of who our writers are for this special anthology book, The Stories of Us. And they're all mini memoirs that we've been working on for the past 12 weeks or so in class, learning to write and publish on KDP. So this is really exciting time. Mila, right from the beginning, had promised us that we would be published by Christmas. And so here we are, just in time, and it makes a perfect gift to share family stories with our loved ones. All right. And so our first author today is Amy Standridge. You may have seen her before. She's on many of my restreams from the Get You Happy On, as well as we did the author roundtable with Live Life and Wow. We just came off with the pre-order sales of that. And here we are today with the Stories of Us. So Amy is a music therapist, and she wrote a very intriguing chapter all about how music is such an integral part of her life. And I'm going to challenge you because she has put together a playlist, sort of like a soundtrack of some major important themes of her life. So I want to ask you, if you are tuning in and watching us, what songs would you include in your own playlist of life? So let us know in the comments. We'd love to engage with you and interact with you, of course. Amy has successfully paired today, so I know that we have tons of viewers coming from her pages as well. So please, without further ado, let us welcome Amy. Ta-da! There you are.
Hooray!
Yay, you made it.
I did, except there we go. I'm back.
Amy's in the middle of traveling, so she is literally packing from her closet and taking time to be with us. So I so appreciate that, Amy. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm also having a glasses glare problem. So if I give you my teacher look, it's just because I'm trying to not let my glasses glare. My teacher look.
I'm so happy to have you here, Amy. We just literally came off of another book event to jump into this one. How do you feel?
I feel a little bit crazy. Like it's been a lot. It's been really exciting. So I've been putting together my Amazon author page, and so it's fun to get that going. So that's kind of what I was in the middle of right before this. So yeah, and then it's Christmas is coming up, and we're traveling, and it's a lot going on.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Mary Jo. You are such an awesome supporter, and she writes here on her playlist will be the Gloria Gaynor favorite, "I Will Survive."
Yes. That's not on my playlist, but I might put it on there afterward.
Amy, it was so delightful to read your chapter, titled "My Life in Song," and I have to say, you are a very precocious toddler to be able to say to your parents, "I want to take these piano lessons, and I'll take them now." And I love the fact that through the pandemic, you made this fun exercise to create this playlist, and one of the songs you had on there was "Don't Bring Me Down," and I hadn't heard of that song in such a long time, but I was prompted to go find it on my Spotify. And so I love that song. It just reminded me of so many fun memories.
Yeah, I'm a big fan now of ELO and Jeff Lynne, who's the creator. He was on all these different albums for Xanadu. He was on that album. And I recently taught a music appreciation class. And as a part of that class, we asked our students to write album reviews, etc. And so I did it along with them, so I would know what they were going through. So I did my album review on his Out of the Blue album, and that "Don't Bring Me Down" is not on there, but I can just remember roller skating in Thousand Oaks, California, in my youth, and listening to "Don't Bring Me Down." There's a part in the song where it makes a little sound effect, and it sounds like it says Bruce. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but that was also my dad's name. So when I hear that part of the song too, it makes me smile. It may not be saying Bruce, but to me it does.
And what I found so endearing too about your chapter is you have a childhood friend, Kathy, who you spilled lots of secrets. So I don't know, does Kathy know that you've been writing this book?
She does. I reached out to her, and I reached out to her because I thought I spilled some beans of some just childhood just ridiculousness that we took part in. And so we met when we were 4, and I'm now 52. And so I just outed her age as well. So we've known each other for almost 50 years, and we're still friends. And she said it was okay if I shared our childhood foibles in the chapter.
Foibles indeed. So for everyone that's watching, you want to get this book, I'm just going to give you one small hint. Snip, snip, snip.
Yes.
And you'll have to tell us what it is about when you read it. So, but I love that story. I could totally imagine that scene too.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, there was one other thing we did that we got in the story. I mentioned Kathy's mom's reaction to whatever the snip, snip, snip was. And I remember another time we would do these talk shows with tape recorders, right? Some of our viewers maybe don't know what tape recorders are, but we had something called the Lottie Da Talk Show. And so I interviewed her one time about Greg Evigan, who was from some 70s TV show. Anyway, so we had lots of fun together doing ridiculous things, which was what 8-year-olds do. But even throughout the years, we still look back on those ridiculously. Now that we're grown-ups, ha ha.
I wonder, when did music finally become a career for you? Because you had such a love for it as a young age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think this really, gives anything away, because I know we want people to read the story in the book. But when I went to college, I didn't plan to major in music because I didn't think I would be interested. At that point, I wasn't interested. I didn't know what I was interested in, but I wasn't interested in teaching music, and I wasn't interested in or good enough to be a performer. Or maybe I was good enough but not willing to put in the work that it takes to be a piano performance professional. So my mom told me about music therapy. She read it in a book and called me up and told me about it, and everything just clicked into place. And so in 2000, I became a music therapist and did a master's degree. And music therapists do a clinical internship, and we do a board certification exam. So we did all of those. So I became a professional. I like to kind of joke that I'm a professional musician. I mean, I am, but music therapy is really for non-musical outcomes. But I like to say, yes, music is my profession, because I really love it. And you can tell that from reading the chapter and from writing. It was so fun. And the music really did bring back so many memories that were still in my periphery of my mind rather than in the forefront. So it's kind of, you can go back again.
Well, I think just in designing your playlist like that, that's really helped you connect with some of these patients of yours who may be seniors, because you have such a wide range of, the oldies too,
Yeah.
and modern music. So I really love that you just bring joy and positivity to not only patients who may be going through dementia, but their care partners. I think that's a big distinction of what you do. That, when caregivers and care partners are caring for the loved ones, who's taking care of them?
Yeah, that's true. And, you think with any kind of memory deficits, you might think you can't make new memories. And, you can to a certain extent. It just depends. I mean, I'm not going to talk a lot about the intricacies of dementia, and I'm not a neuroscientist yet. Who knows what the future might hold, but I know a neuroscientist. But it's important for the caregivers to make new memories too, good, fulfilling, sweet memories with their loved one who has dementia in the last years. So it's not always about, maybe the person with dementia can't make a new memory right now. Maybe they can, it just depends. But the care provider, whether they're a professional caregiver or a family caregiver, care partner, we like to say, because they're both contributing to the relationship. It's for them too. In fact, I have a choir for people living with dementia and their care partners. And there was one of our singers years back, and she said, "This is for me," the carer, not necessarily her loved one with dementia. She's like, "This is for me." And I thought that was so powerful, that we had a place where she could go and feel like she could be herself, and also have her loved one with her, but it not be a doctor's appointment. Wah, wah. So it's really fun to be able to, we're making new memories with people and their families. Sweet.
I love that. They have something to look forward to, right? This is a
Mhm.
different kind of appointment that they could be in it together.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fantastic. What was it like for you to write these stories back to back, for Live Life and Wow and for this book? What was the writing journey been for you these past few
Well,
years?
so people who know me well and know that I have severe FOMO, the fear of missing out. So if something interesting is available to do, I'm going to want to do it. And so I was way overextended at that point. I was trying something new. I was an adjunct professor of music. And that was the first time I did that. Very steep learning curve, learning how to do that. And then I have a family, and I have a music therapy practice and my choir. And so when I heard about these projects, I was like, oh, sure. What are two more things on top of those? And so it was fun because it was more cathartic. Writing was cathartic in a different way than learning management systems at a new university. It's like a lot of input, and this was output, and I enjoyed doing that. And so, and I like the way they kind of go together, and it's been a really interesting experience because, when you write something, you want it to sound like you. And people who know me personally, I'm not a different person because I obviously bring my personality to my work. But I have sort of a professional hat and a personal hat, and trying to make that into one hat rather than two, is an adventure. I could say it's a challenge, or I could say it's an adventure. So I'm learning how to do that. So it was fun doing two different kinds of stories, and um, I'm looking forward to hearing some feedback.
Yes, we want your reviews. So, all of you who are purchasing the book, we would love your reviews, and send some positive, loving feedback to Amy. So, this could be the start of her writing journey. And I hope that you will continue because you are so, you're really conversational in your writing, which I appreciated. And like I said earlier, like you could imagine the scenes being played out.
Yeah, I had so much fun writing it. I had fun writing both, but the personal one was just, like I said, those memories come flooding back when music is attached. It just brings back the cognitive memories as well with the music. And that's why music is great for therapy as well. But it was really fun. I had a lot more to say. I had to cut a lot out. And so I'm definitely planning on doing a larger scale project, not that I'm going to be have this memoir out like Michelle Obama, but I think it's neat for family and my friends who are in book, and but to have that chronicle of a life. And I think that it sounds intimidating writing a book, but after doing these projects and working with professionals like Deborah and like Mila and like you, and once you start to learn how to do something, it's not quite as intimidating. So yeah, I think I could write a longer story or a book or memoir, and I think it'll be fun because I glazed over some important relationships in this memoir because it was a mini that I would love to explore in some more depths. And I have to say, Olivia, so in my story, I never mentioned my brother at all. So it looks like I'm an only child. I did say I was my parents' oldest child, and that's true. So Kirk, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave you out. And so in the full memoir, I'll talk more about my brother, but, and I know you love your brother, Olivia, too. So, and your brother's in this book, right? So yay for brothers, and my apologies to mine, who I totally left out of the story.
Yes, my brother Donald is indeed. We co-wrote a chapter. Originally, like he was going to write his own, and I was going to write my own, but we decided because of the theme of siblings, it'd be fun to write it together. So, you know what? I got the impression that you were an only child from reading your chapter.
I know.
Well, speaking of memories, right, and how you said all of these cognitive memories came back through writing and music, we've got pictures. So this
Yay.
is a segment where you can actually go through Amy's photo album and look at some fun pictures because it is the stories of us. So who might the us be that you're referring to, right? So give me one moment. I'm going to pull up these pictures. And again, no mention of Kirk anywhere in these photos.
No, he does exist. I'm gonna pay for this. It was so funny. I'm like, oh, I totally left him out. And I don't have any pictures of him either, but he does exist.
So that will be part 2 of Amy's memoir.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, here's the first picture. And I adore this picture. I'm so
I
glad that you dug this out of the archives. Here we go. Baby Amy.
Yay! How cute! And that's my mom, and I'm gonna see her tomorrow for the holidays. But yeah, that's little old me in 1971. So cute. Before my brother Kirk, my very, very important and dear brother, Kirk was born in 72. This was before. I was an only child, Olivia, in this picture.
I just love how expressive your face is. It's like you're ready, like just to
Yeah.
have this amazing adventure, it looks like.
Yeah. And look what I'm wearing with that high collar. I'm like Elizabethan England. They're so cute. I bet there's a story behind that outfit. I'll have to get that from my mom.
This is so cute. Yeah, definitely. And what I think has jump started in you is that these stories can continuously expand, right? Like you've only
Oh, yeah.
again glazed over some details or touched the surface on some things, but
Mhm.
that's the nice thing about writing is that you can build upon your chapters, for later books and later anthologies to make a fuller one. So I encourage you to continue. But yeah, I
Yeah.
love this picture so much. All right, let's talk about this one. What is going
That's
on here?
okay. So you know what's so funny to my Pomona Pitzer friends who might see this? I went to Claremont colleges, and part of my story is how I met a very close friend who's still my close friend today. You'll see her maybe in another picture. And I told the story about how we met. This guitar played a big role. And so this is me in college, in a room full, I guess, of people I didn't know very well. And I saw a guitar, I picked it up, and my friend gave me a headband, and I hadn't remembered this photo or the experience. But then last April, I went to a reunion, and my friend was not in my graduating class, but she still lives out there anyway. So we got to see each other. But yeah, so this, one of my favorite songs in the whole wide world is called This Old Guitar by John Denver. And so this picture reminds me about that because the song says it brings brings me says my lovely lady, but music brought people into my life, and this guitar did too. And this is a picture, right? This is a picture right when it happened, a shift in a relationship that became very meaningful. So this is a really special picture that I had forgotten about till recently. The funny thing is, I went to Pomona, and Pitzer is known as sort of a very liberal campus. Pomona is a liberal campus as well. It was a liberal arts school, but there's sort of a stereotype about Pitzer students, and I think I look like a Pitzer student there with my headband and my folk guitar. So you'll have to learn more about the Claremont colleges in a future installment of my life and song.
And these pictures I thought were so fun too to look at and reminisce on.
Yeah. So the one on the left, that's me. I think I was a junior, so my family went and did a study abroad. And that was, I think, the night before we left, we had a party, and that was my best friend from high school who we met because of music as well. And you have to read the story to find that out. But so that's a picture of us in my basement in the winter of 1987 or something like that, 1986, winter of 1986. And then the picture on the right is I am in the scarf without my glasses. And my friend Jennifer in the middle and Karen in the red. And Karen is another relationship that was brought to me through my involvement with music therapy and music. And she brought Jennifer along. And so these are a couple of my CPFs, close personal friends from after college, from a fairly adulthood. So that's me in high school on the left, and me about 10 years ago on the right with my CPFs.
Oh, I love that. You made your own clicky name, CPFs.
Yeah, yep, CPF, yeah. In fact, I came in late and they let me in because really Karen and Jennifer were the original CPFs. And there's also Diane, who's not pictured, and Andy and some other folks too. But those were all of whom we're involved in music together in one way or another.
So fun. All right. And then this picture.
Yeah,
Yay.
so this is snip, snip, snip. That's grown up Kathy and grown up Amy. We were best friends in elementary school, and the neat thing about that was her dad was a pilot for United. So I moved to Iowa when I was 10, but she didn't, still lived in California, but we were able to maintain a friendship because she got to fly to Iowa every so often to visit. So yeah, so that's baby Kathy and baby Amy as grown-ups.
Now, today, do you guys still fight over that song?
Oh, yes. We love to sing together. And one of the songs I mentioned in the chapter was well, I love John Denver, was Take Me Home Country Roads, I think. And she and I, over the years have sung that song a lot. The Judds, we got into a Judds phase, and even though music didn't introduce us, it became a theme on The Sound of Music and all these great music fun we have together. But yeah, do we fight anymore? No. Although sometimes, we tease each other, but you're the oldest friend I know. You're so old. Not really. We're the same age, but my longest term friend. Yeah.
And that's really precious to find these days, to have a childhood friend that long. So I commend you for that, Amy. And I saw that you had turned 50, during 2020. And I just feel like this is such a fun post that I found of you. And then going from guitar to now piano. And I think that you've crossed your legs just like you notice adults do. And your
Yes,
teachers
I know. Are they crossing that? They're crossed right now. I don't know that they're crossed in that picture. Yeah, that piano. Wow. There's a whole story behind that piano I'm going to have to write as well. That was my COVID impulse buy, a grand piano. So it was fun. The story of how I came into possession of that piano was a good story.
Okay. Again, look out for part 2
Yep.
of Amy's memoir. But I remember just in your opening scene, the teacher saying you don't cross your legs sitting at the piano, and you were mimicking what you saw. And then you're like, fine, I will firmly plant my feet on the floor.
I'll show you.
Exactly. I'll show you. And so here you are looking very proud. So I think what a trajectory from, the hippie headband guitar to now the piano.
Yeah. Well, if you think, I started piano lessons when I was 5, and in that picture I'm 50. That's 10 decades of, or 5 decades almost of playing the piano. So that's really sweet. Yeah, piano is probably, I would call it my heart instrument or my spirit instrument if I'm being silly. Although I use now mostly guitar because you can't carry a piano around with you, but you can carry a guitar or a ukulele. As you know, I play the ukulele as well. So, but the piano was the original instrument of my heart, and still is. I wish I had more time to play, and maybe I'll make more time.
Wonderful. I want to give a shout out. I guess there are some friends of yours who are watching from Facebook. They're saying, yay, Amy. And then we've got Lee Jean in Malaysia watching too. So thank you so much, Lee Jean. Lee Jean, I'd love to know what your favorite song growing up is, or if you have a theme song of your life at the moment. Lee Jean, put it in the chat. We'd love to hear it. But yeah, so this has been, such an incredible year for you, Amy. I'm so glad we got to meet. We were roommates together at AATH, and thank goodness for Kathy Grippy for connecting us. And you've been such an amazing friend and supporter. You've helped me out with Laughter Business Academy and LinkedIn, and then you're doing all these book projects. So we keep running into each other, and I love it.
It's fine. You're the savvy social pro for all the collabs. So, and I love that idea. And I'm looking forward to doing more. I'm working on some ideas for 2023 that we'll see what the year has in store. Right now, no more writing projects on the horizon, but who knows? As I said, I don't like to leave something fun undone.
There you go. Well, now you have something tangible. I mean, this is like a giant business card you can leave with clients or leave for, I know you're wanting to get into more speaking engagements, right? So this is definitely a great calling card to have at these events now.
Yeah. It's been really fun too, getting to know the other authors and their stories. And I people really hard. Like I love the people I want. And so I have all these new people now, and Katie Mag, who you're going to talk to, and Warren and Marilyn and Mila and you and Lynn, and just so many nice, and AATH, such a great community of colleagues, and has really enhanced my already full life with all of these new wonderful people. So that's been one of the highlights of these being on these projects, is getting to know all these lovely new writers and experienced writers and entrepreneurs and caregivers and all of that. So it's been really fun.
Indeed, we got to get our peopling in. I love it. Peopling.
I like people so hard. I really do. I loved all the people. My mom would also probably even say that when I was a kid, I loved all my people, my little toys. And so, and now I don't treat people like toys. If that didn't come out like I collect all my people, but anyway, yeah, I like the people. It's important.
Well, speaking of more people, Marilyn and Warren are watching, and they're also our fellow co-authors. So thank you so much for joining us as well too. We'd love to hear your theme song, so put that in the chat too, please, Marilyn and Warren. And something else I was just thinking of. I mean, you could host a fundraiser for Meals on Wheels San Antonio with your books.
Yeah, that's I just got a text message from my contact over there, the community relations, manager, whoever, and said, "Oh, do you have any news?" I'm like, boy, do I. Because so my story in the WOW book was about the choir and Meals on Wheels. We're a program of Meals on Wheels, and so I'm looking forward to sharing that with them. And our choir owes a lot to them, and our community does too. So I just love all of those connections and collaborations. And, we need each other. We all need each other. We can all have contributions. Even like I saw with people with dementia still have contributions. Like we're not done. We're not done contributing. So
I love that. Yes, we're not done with our contributions. And when I was looking at your photos just now, do you share those with your kids? Have your kids looked at the photos with you?
Maybe a little bit, but not tons. Now it's so weird because now, you have your phone with 50 bazillion pictures in it, and you don't really have, I have some albums because I was into albums for a while, and but we just don't sit down with our families in our albums anymore like maybe we used to. So they've seen, but mostly I'm taking pictures of them now because I've got the 3 kids. And a husband who I also met through music, and he's in my story too. Yeah.
Excellent. I know nowadays it's not flipping through the photo albums or scrapbooks anymore. We're probably just scrolling through the cloud.
Yeah. Well, Facebook is a really great resource for me as I look back, because I have a little folder called old pictures. And so I've shared so many photos on Facebook that I can look back and download those from Facebook, and I know where to find them because I went to Kathy's page to look for the picture of little Kathy and I, and Nell's page for her pictures. So they haven't seen all of those photos, but that's something we should do.
Wonderful. And I think this is a song suggestion, Days of Future Past. Do you know this song? For this song title? We'll have to look that up.
I don't. I wonder. Yeah, I don't. I did just hear from LaDonna because I was like, oh, I don't think I'm streamed, but I am. So anyway, now I'm on my Facebook. I was wondering if maybe I could see the comments and see who said that. Maybe I know, but no, I'm not familiar with
Days of Future Past.
Or if it's a song, or maybe it's just, I don't know.
I think it's a song. We'll have to look it up. Moody Blue, someone says too.
Maybe that's the artist that wrote that song. Oh my gosh. I'm supposed to be a music therapist. I don't even know if the song there ever was.
We'll let it pass this time, Amy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for just hopping on and just sharing us a little bit about who you are and your chapter. I'm so excited for everyone to get to know you through the stories that you're writing, and just opening up this world of, music therapy and how it is much needed. I think it's a much needed modality for care and healing at this time.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, this has been really fun. Thank you, Olivia. No, we know each other's interview styles and everything. And I was hoping I get to play fast question round, but we'll do that in another video.
The rapid fire question?
Rapid fire questions, yeah.
That's where I get you happy on. Excellent.
I'll just start giving you answers. Tomorrow, a raisin. Yes, maybe. I'm just playing. I'll play it by myself.
Oh, the comments keep coming on. Thank you so much, everyone, for just awesome participation. Katie, our friend Katie is watching. Yay.
Hey.
Katie, you are amazing too. We wouldn't be here without you. So thank you, Katie. And for those of you who have not yet to meet Amy, please follow her link tree. I had everyone make a link tree. So you can find all their connections and all the links on one page. So go ahead and bookmark this. And she is also on YouTube. Get a look there and subscribe to Amy's channel. And then we are going to have this an amazing book launch. So all these interviews that we're doing with these author chats, it's all leading up to Wednesday night, which is the winter solstice, by the way. And so Mila is very spiritual in that way. Like she wants to like launch on a winter solstice. So we're going to come back on Zoom and live streaming through our Facebook group. So please join us. It's Meet the Authors of the Stories of Us Facebook group. That's where you can watch all the Zoom fun celebrations and help us get to number one. So mark your calendars for that. That's Wednesday, and it's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So go to the link and bookmark it there.
Hey, Olivia, I'm sorry to like point you out here in the whole wide world, but it's a story of us. It's missing an S. If people are writing that down, do they need to write stories of us?
So that's a typo on the Facebook group. So I don't know if we'll have a chance to fix it. I think we can fix it, but that is the correct link.
I like it. Story office.
Story office. I double checked and there wasn't time to fix it. So I think either if you search or go to this link, you'll find it. You'll find us with our wonderful paint splatter banner.
I love that. So years ago, I did a Music Together training, another great program. And one of the things they talk about in Music Together are oops-ortunities. So when you do something as a mistake, it's an oops-ortunity. You can joke about it. And so I pointed out your oops-ortunity, Olivia. I just wanted to make sure people got there. Okay.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oops-ortunity. I love that. And you know, something I heard the other day from one of our fellow colleagues, Kim Chi Chow, she was talking about how, you know, when you have a situation like that, you can either accept it or convert it. Mm-hmm. So you convert this exercise and, you know, hey, laugh it off. It's an oops-ortunity.
Yeah. Love it. It's a reframe. I love a good reframe. Hooray.
Good reframe. Mm-hmm. So, and then Robinette, oh, great. Robinette, you are up next. So Robinette is in the green room waiting, and she's going to be coming on at the top of the hour. So you want to stick around for Robinette's interview. She's our fellow co-author of The Stories of Us Too. And thank you again, Amy, for being on here. Safe travels. And we will see you on Wednesday for our launch.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And away we go.